A decade of progress for healthy Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to be here with me, it is going to be vibrant. We are going to be having a great time. We're going to show a timeline of what Richmond has done to get to where they're at right now. So stay with me right now, you guys, because we are going to get you out of your seat, get you jumping just a little bit right before we get into the program, because it's lunch hour and we need to burn off those calories. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to jump into the program. I just wanted to say thank you so much for letting me tune in and be your party, your pre-party. I got music in my ear. My apologies. So let's go ahead and get started on the 10-year. Let's go. Healthy Richmond, congratulations. You made it 10 years. And you know what? It's only going to get better. You're only going to have more to do. You're only going to have great success. And we are going to start with showing you a timeline of what you did 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Let's go ahead and roll that right now. Let's go.
Richmond has really good bones.
The physical beauty, the diversity of the people here, the energy, the creativity.
Richmond's a really groovy place.
There's a rich history of community organizations that have worked to improve neighborhood conditions.
We have really good, talented people. And a lot of us are here really feel like we have a mission to accomplish.
I don't think that Richmond is a healthy place right now. I believe that it could be, with a lot of work and time invested into it, and especially getting everyone to work together.
A healthy community is a community where everyone within the community helps each other. Everyone looks for progress. Everyone looks for peace.
I think a healthy community is basically like a community that doesn't have like a lot of pollution and stuff, and like the waterways are clean. There's not a lot of garbage and graffiti. A city that people want to come visit.
The hardest things about living in Richmond is you have to worry about where you walk around. It's like a lot of violence,
There's too much violence. Like, I see too much people in gangs, too many people doing drugs.
In the early to middle 80s in Richmond, we were hit with the crack epidemic, and it was during the emergence of this drug crack that the violence component seemed to get amplified.
I was definitely involved in the lifestyle, sold narcotics, carried pistol, was a violent man. And when I was 21, I got convicted of attempted murder and spent 10 years in prison. To be able to have any kind of influence over them, it needed to be folks with some kind of street reputation, street credibility. They trust that I know what I'm talking about, and they give me their ear.
Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone. big welcome. I just want to say my shoulders are still moving from that opening set with DJ Rowe. I'm Shannon Beasley. I'm with Contra Costa Health Services, and I just want to welcome everyone. I hope you did enjoy that throwback video that we just showed from way back in 2010. But I also want to welcome you and help me enjoying the whole idea of hosting with the lovely Joanne. Joanne, bring your voice in.
Thank you so much, Shannon. And I feel especially honored to co-host with you. You are truly a dynamic person, and everyone, my voice is a little bit raspy today, but I'm feeling fabulous, just like I hope all of you are feeling fabulous because you're looking fabulous. So we hope that as much as possible, we get to see your face, you come off camera. Really, thank you again, everyone, so much for participating today. It is really a pleasure and a privilege to be here with all of you fabulous folks today. So I would like to first welcome Supervisor John Joya to share a few thoughts with us today for our 10-year celebration. John? We can unmute John, I think. We gotta find them first. There's so many folks here. Let's see, where you at, Supervisor?
There I am.
Joya?
Okay, I was waiting for you to unmute me. Okay, great.
Pardon, okay.
Let me just say, it's really great to be with all of you, and I'm really looking forward to the time that we can all be together in person, which is what we did before the pandemic, and doing all of the great work to make Richmond a healthier place. And I just want to start and think back to 10 years ago and thank the California Endowment for its investment in building community leadership and building community capacity in Richmond, because you know those early decisions in deciding how to invest in Richmond to make us a healthier community, I think were really important, and those early days led to the formation and investment, of course, in Healthy Richmond. And I know we're going to hear about a lot of the accomplishments over the last 10 years, but I think what it's really been about is the strength of community, giving voice to community, building community leadership, building community empowerment, so that the community acts on its own and advocates for itself to change the systems, that have created racism and discrimination and inequity in our communities. So all the battles in this long war that we're still fighting, and that Healthy Richmond has been involved with, things like, you know, reforming our criminal justice system, fighting against jails, improving education and health outcomes, improving how a community is designed. All of those things really came out of community voices. And for me, that's what's really been the impact of Healthy Richmond. And the work that I do at the county is totally strengthened by your work as a coalition. You know, our efforts to develop more funding for youth through Kids First, the efforts to create a livable plan for North Richmond, efforts to really empower and engage parents and youth. All of those things, all of those fights were a struggle and took time, but would not have happened if it wasn't for all of you in the greater Healthy Richmond Coalition. And I'm looking forward to continuing to work with everyone beyond the 10 years and to do a lot more. While progress has been made, I don't need to tell you there's a lot more work that needs to happen. And so I think we can gain energy from the battles that you've won and helping us with this larger war on racism and inequity. So thanks, Healthy Richmond. And I think there's a lot to be proud of. And we look forward to more battles won together.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Joya, for those opening words and being able to set the tone for where we're going. I also wanted to just welcome everyone again. There has been quite a few accomplishments, probably more than we could capture in one meeting. But I just want to also say that we're going to have reflections today. We're just going to be able to lift up a few of them today. We do not want to pretend like there are not so many people missing, so many other things that we could talk about. But We only have a bit of time, and we also wanted to make sure that if you registered, you would have received a DoorDash Q code. Healthy Richmond was kind enough to be able to have that as part of the registration so that you can nourish your mind and your bodies, hopefully during this celebration and gathering. And then eventually we hope to ramp up to being back in person again, in community, in the months ahead, because we certainly miss being in solidarity with each one of you over the past year.
If you haven't received your Q code, please send a little chat, a private chat to V, and she will help you out with that.
Next steps is we're going to go into some videos. We want everyone to sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the reflections over the last 10 years. Thanks for joining us.
I'll tell you a little bit about these videos. First, we have a lot coming up for you today. We're going to get started first by sharing a little small presentation that highlights some of the accomplishments in the area of community safety. And we couldn't have done this work without the Contra Costa County Racial Justice Coalition, the Safe Return Project, ACE, RISE, Catholic Charities, many, many others, and of course, all of the individual community leaders. Following that, we will hear from Andres Edgarra about his experience as a fellow in the very first Healthy Richmond campaign. And in the very first campaign was People Not Prisons, and leading the way to ensure the people of West County have access to health care. Then we will show you a wonderful performance from the talented folks at the East Bay Center for the Performing Arts. And finally, before we turn it back over to my amazing co-host, we will hear from Tanisha Walker, the Executive Director for the Safe Return Project, newly elected council member from the city of Antioch, and a founding member of Healthy Richmond. She was a leader in the very first campaign, Healthy Richmond Collective. So we will go right into the accomplishments presentation.
Hi, I'm Andrew Savara. I currently work at Lifelong Medical Care as a patient services advocate. But before then, I worked with an organization called the Safe Return Project, and through that project in Richmond, I was able to help the community in so many different ways. One way is we help formerly incarcerated people, which I happen to be one of, get services, anywhere from medical services to job services to mental health services. And there was also many other partners, including Healthy Richmond, ACE, Cisco, that also helped the community access certain programs, because 10 years ago it was really hard. When I first got here, it was hardly anything here, especially to help lower income residents. So if you couldn't help lower income residents, people coming home from prison and stuff, they had no chance. They had no chance. And that's how the cycle keeps going. You know, when people don't have anything to look forward to. And it's our responsibility to make sure that, you know, recidivism goes down when people can get jobs and take care of themselves, their family, they can reconnect. And once you reconnect, then that's when crime goes down. And then we won't need organizations like offices of neighborhood safety, because then crime will be down. So we won't need a giant police force because crime will be down. And then when crime goes down, then police-related incidents with the community also goes down. You have less police shooting community members, and then the community is more healthy because then you were able to access health better. The reason why grades are lower with low-income students is because kids go to school, they're hungry. That's a health issue. So in order for things like that to improve, we have to have access to good programs. And through Healthy Richmond, for the last 10 years, I've seen the program grow so much. I've seen so many young people get better, grades go up, healthcare goes up. And when all that happens, then our city benefits from that, you know, and then we don't get a bad name, you know, because Richmond is a great city. They got great residents, and I'm glad to be part of it.
The ceasefire initiative was a really important initiative in the city of Richmond to combat gun violence. It was an initiative that brought community and law enforcement together and other stakeholders to address the needs of public safety in Richmond. One of the most amazing components of ceasefire were the community night walks for healing, where community members, clergy, and allies got together and walked every Friday night for over 3 years to address violence in our community and to be visible and to increase public trust and to help people feel safe. Healthy Richmond participated in those walks by providing space, providing resources for larger community walks, and also being a thought partner at the table on strategies moving forward. Our racial justice work with the Racial Justice Coalition was a huge part of Safer Terms, Invest in People, Not Prisons campaign. It was really a campaign to divert funding away from criminalization and harming our communities back into community resources, and making sure that we were clear that there was racial disparity in our systems and that targeted mass incarceration and criminalization needed to end. Healthy Richmond still remains a partner in the Racial Justice Coalition work as we begin to move forward to reimagine public safety and do justice reinvestment in all our communities. It's been an honor to lead Safer Term as a formerly incarcerated convicted person myself, and it's been an honor to continue this work on with Healthy Richmond and all our partners.
Wow, wow, wow. Fantastic to be able to look back and always understand how much Healthy Richmond has been in the center of, with advocating for community safety, always engaging the leadership of those most impacted. And we're still honored to join in that partnership today. So next up will be some reflections for our collective accomplishments around economic justice. We're going to be able to hear from Susan Kim, the Executive Director of the Family Justice Center, who will also share reflections about being on the Healthy Richmond Planning Committee back in 2009. So without any further ado, let's enjoy Susan Kim.
Hi, I'm Susan Kim. I'm with the Family Justice Center in Contra Costa County, and I was involved with the Healthy Richmond initiative at the very beginning. In fact, I was looking at the logic model this morning. I don't know if everyone has seen it. There are lots and lots of boxes and lots of strategies and outcomes, right? Richmond is a very special place. It's very diverse with a lot of immigrants. Things have been changing really rapidly, and things were changing 10 years ago with a lot of Latinx immigrants arriving in Richmond. And there were like immediate urgent issues related to, poverty, housing issues, the foreclosure crisis, and the lack of parks, youth activities, and, you name it. There were all kinds of issues related to our community. So when the California Endowment came to our community and gave us these big pictures, some of us were a little bit like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I mean, we need food, we need eviction protection. Like there are certain urgent things that we needed, and we need more resources for direct services on the one hand. On the other hand, what the endowment said kind of made sense. And I think we took a leap of faith and we kind of delved into this. So what they brought to us in terms of this big picture thinking and frame that I'm referring to is that they really wanted us to focus on policy changes and systemic changes. And that took a while for us to really truly understand and grasp it, and then find a way to pursue the policy change. And I think the Healthy Richmond has done a really tremendous job in that regard. And the second thing that the endowment brought to us was this issue around resident development, resident ownership, and power building. And again, I think that those of us who are involved at the beginning 10 years ago understood it somewhat, but I think we were kind of in the more infancy stage of the importance of resident development and ownership. And I think in these past 10 years, Healthy Richmond has done a tremendous job in really advancing that agenda. The third thing that really came up for me is the value of collaboration that we have really practiced in Richmond through Healthy Richmond. All kinds of partnerships have emerged. We have all built strong working relationships in the past 10 years. And that's another highlight of this initiative. I am proud to be part of this place-based systems change initiative that really honors and centers around resident development, ownership, and power building. I think that's really so critical for this initiative. And I would congratulate the Healthy Richmond partners, and especially Roxanne, who's been there from the very beginning and who's really pushed this through. And it hasn't been always easy. It's not always easy for people to quite understand this type of policy initiative. But I think that people who have been involved with the Healthy Richmond initiative and the Hub have really done a great job. And I really appreciate their efforts, and I appreciate the work.
Thank you, thank you, thank you to Susan. Next up, we're going to actually get a little bit more into some of our action and access to quality healthcare work. So being able to see the next speaker is a pleasure for me. Wanda Session is actually the former assistant to the director for Contra Costa Health Services, where I am now stationed, and then was also a chair to the Access to Quality Healthcare Action Team. We really appreciate Wanda's words. We appreciate you joining us today and sharing your experiences as a systems ally and champion. So let's hear the next video.
We were asked to bring together folks who were not usually in the same playpen together. We were asked to bring together systems that mean county health department, county social services agency, education, the school district staff, the city of Richmond, residents, community-based organization, faith-based organizations, as well as grassroots organizers. This was a very unique experience in that we were all asked to come into the same space and to get on the same page, so to speak, as it relates to health equity and to forge change in the community. I served on the steering committee, the executive committee, and I co-chaired the Access to Healthcare Action Team. I served in the role with the county as the assistant director of the health department. I believe that we made a lot of progress at the end of the day, I would say that COVID and some of the other things that are playing out in the community right now really shine a bright light on some of the initiatives that TCE, Building Healthy Communities, spent the last 10 years working on. I believe that we're making a lot of progress. I believe that it warms my heart to see all of the community residents who found their voice and began to advocate for themselves. They began to understand what it means to have access to quality health care and as with the school district and parents and being able to go before the board and speak and advocate for their children. It really warms my heart to see that a lot of that progress has been made, but there is yet a long way to go. And these community organizations, when TCE steps away and are no longer a funder, it's really, really important that there is this space and that there is this ability for these organizations to continue to work very closely together, continue to do this great work, continue to partner, continue to work together to understand what you can do together to continue to move this effort forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Wanda. I see that you are here in person, and I would like to just personally thank you for all your service and just to let you know that it's always been a pleasure working with you, the steering committee, the executive board, everything. So thank you for coming. Next up, we do want to highlight the education equity work that has been led by our Schools and Neighborhoods Action Team. This team was initially formed to make sure that parents and students were equipped to advocate for the West County School District's Local Control Accountability Plan, also known as LCAP, much easier to say, to ensure that academic equity gaps are closed for high need students. And I also want to lift up that at the end, we will be hearing from another of our Healthy Richmond founders, our very own Jordan Simmons, Executive Director for the East Bay Center for the Performing Arts. And so we will go ahead and start the presentation.
I've lived in this house, married and with the boys back here for now 10 years. You know, it's different from when I grew up, because when I grew up in this house, it was fun. Neighborhood kids and always outside playing, and, you know, it really felt like home. I don't even think I would let my kids go outside and play. You know, that's just some of the changes that the community has brought. It's just really good to see the youth have the support, standing behind them saying, I trust you guys. And I think sometimes we forget to do that. Sometimes I'm sitting there thinking, as a parent, what do I want? But I think they bring that, you know, what do we want as the ones that are being directly affected right now by it? Which I have a lot of hope for him.
I got involved in a multitude of different internships, some being around education justice, food justice, environmental justice, and then I ended off with youth organizing, which I've stayed in for about 2 years.
There hasn't been much of a shift in terms of academic achievement for particularly the African American students, but I would say also English language learners.
Somewhere in our schools, we have rights. Getting suspended is probably what we've all wanted this whole time. Like, we don't deserve an education. Our schools are doing something that's terribly wrong and should be stopped, because no one's education should be played with. Because everyone has a right to learn. Doesn't matter the color of our skin, the money their parents make, the languages we speak, the age of our mind, the capability to learn. Somewhere in our schools, the bell will ring and I will finally see some smiling faces. If parents are outside waiting that their child has learned nothing. Somewhere in our schools we are prepared to fail, which needs to be eliminated, because everyone deserves a chance to succeed.
Most of the progress that we've made has been around the process that takes place every year. We were able to advocate for a stronger set of bylaws that would give parents and young people a greater voice at the table. And those students were enormously effective this year in articulating some of the issues from their vantage point.
We must love each other, support each other. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our change. We have nothing to lose but our change.
In looking back at the last 10 years, let me call it 13 years, because the pre-planning and the transition period were also very important to all of our efforts. The fundamental idea of resident engagement, of citizen initiative and empowerment to residents and young people has been important across the board, from systems and community leaders and families and neighborhood families and young people, that we could begin to actually talk and collaborate amongst all of us. This is where really the true momentum of Healthy Richmond has been from my point of view, and where I would look ahead and say the most important work is what we are preparing for now for the rest of 2021 and 2022. This work with the school district to really empower families to be involved in the budgeting process, to be involved in how safety and security was done in an equitable and just manner on campus, who is leading the district, and what are the big goals and visions of the district, and how agencies like our own and other community-based organizations that are involved in working with the district can really make sure that young people understand that they have an opportunity to influence the policies and the vision of all of the educational institutions. This is not easy work, and it's been happening in a variety of ways, both on campus and with lawyers and attorneys and advocacy, as well as young people speaking up and talking about what is right, not only in their schools, but outside of their schools. So in that sense, the education of all of us about how we continue to build bridges between system and families in the direction that our families are pointing. That is going on still. Yeah, thank you.
Why, I'm just not feeling it.
Wow, wow, wow. That was so beautiful. And for those of you who are not watching the chat, Jordan let us know that that video was all choreographed and conceived by the students. Wow, I just cannot say enough about the East Bay Center for the Performing Arts and all the folks who participate there. They're amazing. Another place we can't get enough of is the Rise Center. So please help me to welcome Adriana Avalos, a 15-year-old Rise member and a Chicana poet. She is an activist and a proud accomplice. For her, poetry is not only her art, but a way to express herself. She believes poetry and using our hearts to speak our minds is very important to accomplish solidarity as a whole. So let's take a look at Adriana Avalos.
When we say we are the world, we mean equality for the minorities and the privileged, for a well-balanced society where we value love, health, and safety. We mean we love all. We mean we stand for each other. We bring each other up. We speak for us and for the ones who can't. When we say we are the world, we are calling in our ancestors. And when my ancestors speak through me, they will say how we suffered, how we were beaten, our bones broken for using our voices, bloody footprints, but we still hold up our signs. Huelga, strike. We stand as one. Oppression forced upon us like we wouldn't know how to think. Decolonizing is only key to freeing up a biased mind, a one-sided reality sunk into the ground. The womb of Mother Nature to heal. The natural medicine of my history. My brown skin will never bow down. No matter how many broken bones you give me, my soul will rise back up in my children, los niños del futuro. In La Quech, my unity clap still rings on our land. Mis danzas aztecas still stomp to my own beat. So my children of the future, los niños que viven ahorita. Don't let them make you ashamed of where you come from. Unifying each other's identity, history, and experiences, tearing down the forced oppression Olympics, and you'll truly see our past, our present, our future. Mis hermanos y hermanas, my people of color, my indigenous folks, my black folks, my queer folks, my disabled folks, and all my people doing the work to survive by our own resiliency. So as the song goes, hear a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
Wow, that's powerful. Anytime we can just lift up young people's voices, their true essence of who they are, it's just powerful. So I just want to give a special shout out to the Rise Center, as well as Adriana, for that fantastic performance.
Big shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So next, in that same vein, we're going to introduce Jamile Ibrahimi, who is also an organizing director with the Rise Center. And we want to just be able to acknowledge the work and the power, because Jamile has been with Healthy Richmond every step of the way as part of the Healthy Richmond Youth Team and the school's Neighborhood Action Team, and the advocacy for education equity. We have been able to see her partner with the parent leaders, and so many of you here on the line today to advocate for change in our school districts. So we have a reflection coming up from Jamile, and I welcome you all to listen deeply. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jamile Ibrahimi. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm with the Rise Center. I've been part of Healthy Richmond since the beginning. I was brought on to lead a team of young people who went and did surveys to make sure that their voices and the voices of their peers were included in the logic model, and also included in setting the priorities that Healthy Richmond were going to work on for the 10-year initiative. And following the work, the group was called the Healthy Richmond Youth Team. There was work that was really grounded in the vision of Rise, but also to connect to this 10-year initiative was around building youth power. And it wasn't so much just around how do we create young people's leadership in a 10-year initiative, but how are we really developing a foundation that can go beyond the 10 years? And so Rise with Healthy Richmond put together a plan to have a youth hub. And so in addition to having the hub for Healthy Richmond, we had a hub for young people that was really grounded in building young people's leadership skills and building their own platform to work on policies, to work in partnership with adults who are part of the other steering committee and the action teams, but also to really build a base of young people who are going to continue to fight for what they wanted and needed in their community. And the power building of young people is happening across the state, and it's really built on the history and legacy of organizing that has been happening across our communities, but young people have really taken the forefront and have been at the forefront around, if it's things happening at the ballot box, fighting for parks, fighting for ballot initiatives to get more investments in young people, all of the different things that have been happening in our country and in our local communities, young people have been at the forefront. And that's what we've seen over the last 10 years is young people taking lead to transform our communities. In addition to going back to looking at why we had a youth hub in the first place, is how are we creating something that goes beyond 1 year or one policy, but something that's really around creating a long-term investment for young people. And so in addition to creating a long-term investment for young people's leadership and power building, similar to creating or starting with the Yo Hub, we created a fund, and we worked to develop a fund through taking it to the ballot and getting a fund and a department for children and youth in the city of Richmond that is allocating over the next 10 years over $40 million to children and youth. And that is because of young people's power and their power building and their leadership and their vision is why we have that today.
think I hear that music coming back.
I think it is time to kind of break it up. What a powerful message, right? Like, I'm catching all this information that's coming out of Richmond, and I am just enamored from what I'm hearing. I mean, just right now, I just checked how many people we have in the room, and we have 91 people in the room here to celebrate with Healthy Richmond. So congratulations to everyone who's here, everyone who's been a part of this. I mean, the comments are just flooding over. I feel like I want to jump into these comments, but I'm like, I just need to know a little bit more. And I'm learning so much of what Healthy Richmond has done. So big shout out to all of you. But I want to kind of break it up, shake our sillies out. What we're going to do right now is we are going to do a prize scavenger hunt. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said surprise scavenger hunt. Everyone has something in their room that they know that they're going to be able to participate in. So here I am. I'm going to tell you the rules. All right, rules are coming out of my body. All right, first thing is we have 3 items that are going to come out of your room, office, kitchen, because you know the people who have their videos off, they're doing something in the kitchen right now because they're making some lunch. But we have 3 items that I'm going to reach out to each one of you all. And then once I say go, or after the 3rd item, you can find all 3 of those items. Once those 3 items are found in your possession, not in your mind, but in your possession, you are going to write your name in the group chat. And I have Shannon and Joanne that are going to be reaching out to see who the first person is. Then we have 2 winners. So that second person is also going to win. But the only way we're going to find out whether or not if you're winning or not, we are going to put you on the screen and you are going to show us those 3 scavenger hunt items. Everyone ready? Can I get a heck yeah with the hands in the air? Heck yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Number 1, little number 1, you need to find something purple. Number 2, something that is social justice related. Number 3, something that has a so good story behind it. You got to give us those 3 things. Let's go. Come on. Find it, ladies and gentlemen. Find it.
Let's go. We want to see you moving. And if you're not moving, we want to see you at least stretching in your seats. But I know that folks are trying to get to those 2 prizes. Let's go.
Man.
I want to see the
purple item,
empty screens.
the purple
Empty
item
screens.
for those Prince fans.
Oh my God, there are empty screens, but you know what, ladies? It went by so quickly. It looks like we already have people. We have
Sam said that he.
I think it was Sam. I think Sam started off the hit and run.
And then Latrina.
Sam and Princess.
Oh, Sam and Princess.
Sam and Princess are in here.
Oh gosh, there's so many people.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It was good. We got 91 people in here. All right, Sam, you're up first. You got to show us something purple.
We got to.
All right, Post-it note. All right, something social justice related. COVID mask, ladies and gentlemen, what an easy win. And something with a story behind it. Sam, show us your story. 2018. Can we get Sam?
That's our annual report for 2018. There was a whole lot of story, a year worth of story behind this.
Beautiful, Sam. You are winner
I think he's a winner.
1. All right.
Yes.
You had to get the horn. You had to get the pit bull horn. All right. So next we had Princess. Thank you, Sam. Stay tuned because we will get you your present or your prize. Where is Princess? Hey, girl. What's up? Look at those nails.
Hey, what's up?
You got me dreaming right now. All right, girl. Show me something purple.
Okay, something purple.
Oh, okay. I like that. And show me something social justice related. Bay Area Challenge. All right.
Yes.
All right. And last but not least, show me something with a story behind it and share that story for us right now, Princess.
I was a part of the North Richmond quality of life process with Healthy Richmond.
Yes, girl. Aplauso. Yes. All right. Well, good job. Everyone, thank you for joining in the little scavenger hunt. That went real quick. I feel like we should have done another one. But, you know, we're on a time crunch because we want to make sure you get back to your livelihoods and as well into this program. So, ladies, I'm going to let you two take it away.
Thanks everyone for the energy, for the break, and thank you, DJ Rowe, for facilitating that. You are fantastic. I'm already looking forward to the after party. I hope everybody is ready to get up and shake it a little bit at the after party. Just a little plug there. But we do want to keep the program moving right along. So next, we're actually going to have a special segment. So we're going to be lifting up our community member reflections. We have Leticia Chavez from the North Richmond Resident Leadership Team and Stephanie Sequeira, co-chair of the Multilingual District Advisory Committee, also known as MDAC, to share their reflections on their leadership to advocate for change. And as you know, Healthy Richmond and beyond, we all know nothing about community without community. So we want to be able to bring these stories in next. Everyone enjoy.
Mi nombre es Leticia Chávez y soy residente del norte de Richmond por más de 17 años. Soy parte del equipo de liderazgo del norte de Richmond y con el apoyo de Healthy Richmond y participación de residentes y personas que compartimos preocupaciones y deseos de tener un vecindario seguro y con oportunidades para todos, hemos creado este equipo y hemos sido apoyados y guiados por Healthy Richmond. Ese apoyo es crucial en nuestra comunidad. Personalmente, he ganado confianza para hablar más abiertamente de las necesidades de nuestra comunidad y buscar el apoyo cuando es necesario.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Sequeira. I am a mom of 4 of children of West Contra Costa Unified. I have been part of the SNAP team for about a little over 8 years, I'd say, starting with the LCFF, LCAP back in 2013, with the trainings at Healthy Richmond in conjunction with Cisco, the Latina Center, ACLU, and BBK at the time provided for us parents to grow in regards to the LCAP. It's been a long way in the making. We developed in 2016, 2017, the We Are the Expert videos to share along and provide more information on what the LCAP is. Have participated in a couple of family resident leadership camps that the Yes Nature to Neighborhood has provided in conjunction with Healthy Richmond. To this day, I believe we continue to be the expert as parents on this committee to ensure that our most underserved and undervalued students are being represented and receiving all the services that they are entitled to. Thank you.
So we are getting close to the end of our celebration. However, before we do that, I do love to volunteer people to do things. And Sam, he is like a brother to me, so I'm going to volunteer him now to give us a personal reflection after that video of community reflections. So if you could just give us a brief little in-person reflection. Oh, I got to unmute you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate it. So first of all, I just want to thank everybody who was a part of this process from the very, very beginning. I know Richmond Community Foundation, the California Endowment, a lot of grassroots organizations put a lot of work into trying to collaborate and create an environment to where young people can live, thrive, and succeed and not have to live in fear, not have to live in pain, and not have to just deal with constant trauma. It was important that folks put resources behind that. The 10-year commitment that the endowment made was critical for not just this city, but I know many other cities across the state. And we kind of, where the country is right now, where a lot of folks is trying to just reimagine what healthy communities can look like, Richmond's always been ahead of the game. So I just feel real honored to be a part of that. And I want to say congratulations to everybody for all the hard work over the last 10 years. But now it's just the beginning. We still got a long way to go. So let's enjoy, let's celebrate, but let's tie up our bootstraps because we still got work to do.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I'm also going to call on Miriam. I see she's been active in the chat quite a bit. Miriam, do you have a few words for us? Let me see where you are. I can't find your face. Let me see. Hold on. I'm on the
Yes.
let's see. Everybody's in alphabetical order here.
We got her.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I've been with Healthy Richmond since the beginning. And to me, this is the best thing that happened to Richmond. The work of Healthy Richmond has done until today means a social change. It's a long way to go. And I believe the California Endowment should, I hope, they can continue supporting us. Thank you, Roxanne, for your great leadership. Thank you, Dojant. And we need to keep going. Richmond is a wonderful place that we are living. Thank you.
So let's see. I also want to take a few minutes to share with you, just a minute, where the Healthy Richmond Coalition, the collective, is going next. And as a member of the Sustainability Committee, I am privileged to share with you our new vision, all caps, and strategic compass for the racial equity horizon. So we'll just show you a brief slide of that right now.
Fantastic. So we've done so much. There's so much more to do. And we're bringing the program slowly to a close. Not just yet, but
Hey, Shannon,
yes.
Can I break in for a second?
Oh my gosh, please. Absolutely,
Yes.
especially you.
So you saw a brief slide of our staff, past and present, and it went by really quickly, but I just want to honor the staff that is with us now, working hard, and the staff that was with us in the beginning. So I hope you had a chance to kind of look at the pictures of those folks, because they really did work so hard. I also wanted to take a minute and just honor the members of our Healthy Richmond family that we lost over the years. The first person, Miss Ann Cyrus, I don't know who's on that knows Miss Ann Cyrus, but she was always with us, with our team going to school board meetings. And at the end of her life, she knew she was coming to the close of her life. And she said she wanted to spend the rest of her days really doing the advocacy work around education equity. So I especially want to mention her. Richard Boyd, who is just continues to be, I think, the father of the work that Safe Return Project does, and they honor him every year with the Richard Boyd Fellowship. But he is beloved to all of us. He was always the person in the back of the room who was, making sure that we were doing what we needed to do to change things. I also wanted to just mention Mike Wong, who was the facilitator early on in the planning stages of Healthy Richmond. Jordan would know that as Jordan held that beginning phase, that there were times when we weren't sure, like Richmond wanted to do things differently with TCE. And I think we were maybe the last site to turn in our plan because we wanted it the way that we wanted it. It was a beautiful thing of beauty. And I actually called Mike in when I came on board to help me think through things as well. So, and I also want to just take a minute for all the youth and adults that were taken by violence too soon. And we know who they are. Rise did a beautiful job of lifting them up. And we unfortunately went to too many funerals over time. But if you can hold all of those people in your heart, because they really did make a difference to this initiative. So back to you, Shannon.
Thank you, Roxanne. And don't go far because I know that you came in, but we certainly want to just continue to honor you and your leadership. So I just wanted to, in that same kind of acknowledgement piece, thank everyone. I want to personally just state that Healthy Richmond helped me pursue one of my passions, which is working with young people, working on workforce development and educational attainment. And that was through the Public Health Solutions Project, which Roxanne was able to speak to Wanda's session about in our system. And that happened to lead to me taking on an initiative that changed my life as well. So Healthy Richmond has touched all of us. We want to thank every one of you as the partners for working tirelessly to support all of the collective campaigns. And again, Roxanne, just shouting you out, lifting you up. You've been internal partner to health services, you've been an external partner to health services, and you've been a collaborative champion in so many other spaces. You've trained us, you've taught us, and you really just have the vision to be unapologetic with demanding accountability to systems and communities. And so we just honor you and we thank you. And I'm very grateful to have been a part of this program today. So I just wanted to step back for a second and be able to also add an acknowledgement to Diana Rhonda, who is really the visionary and strategic framework designer behind this whole initiative. The California Endowment has been key, has been the lead on designing the Building Healthy Communities initiatives. So Diane, we see you. You've been to more than enough meetings. We wish we could clone you. And we are very grateful for your partnership and your leadership. And then here's some final thank yous coming up, also from our action team partners.
Before we do that, I would also like to personally thank Roxanne for believing in me all these years, and to the whole Healthy Richmond Coalition, Diane, everyone, for first me being on the steering committee, executive board, the sustainability team. I've learned so much about community advocacy, community engagement. I've really grown, not only professionally, but emotionally in my heart. Like, I love all of you guys. I really, really thank you. So we will go into the video with a little thank yous of some other folks too.
On behalf of the steering committee, I'm so grateful, and we'd like to acknowledge your recognition of the work of the past dozen years, hundreds of resident leaders, and dozens of important community agencies.
As we work toward envisioning the next chapter of Healthy Richmond, as we continue to work with the city, county, and school district leaders to transform their institutions.
Hi, I'm Abigail Sims-Evelyn with the City of Richmond. Thank you from the Economic Justice Team.
Hello, I am Ianad Burrell, part of Healthy Richmond's Access to Quality Healthcare Communications team. Thank you so much for this honor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fatima Allen. Thank you from the Education Equity team.
My name is Juanita Towns, and I'm co-chair of the ASAT, and we also would like to say thank you.
My name is Martine Blake, representing West Contra Costa Unified School District. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's the formal program. So you know what it is.
Yes.
It's time to really celebrate. So we really want to just bring it on. We want to bring back DJ Rowe. We want to thank Roy Robles. We want to thank Annabelle, all the people who helped put together this technical program. Virtual events are a challenge, but myself and Joanne, we kind of just went with it. So please, thank you for your kindness and grace as we facilitated today. But yeah, let's do this. Let's go to the next portion, which is after party.
And big shout out to both of you ladies. You truly did an amazing job representing Healthy Richmond. Ladies and gentlemen, give them an applause because they did such an amazing job. I know they were like, we were in meetings and everything like that, so we made sure we got it down, but these ladies really took it and owned it.